Heyo, it's Claire, and today I'm going to be talking about how God makes our brokenness beautiful. So this summer, my dad and I built a rope swing, and the only problem with this was that we didn't really have a good tree to build a rope swing. It had been something we've been talking about doing for years, and we decided to just go for it. Uh, Well, after we'd spent several long hours climbing up and down this tree with large amounts of rope, this rope swing that we wanted to build so badly was ready to go. And because my dad was involved in the project, he went first, just in case it broke or went into another dimension or something like that. And my dad grew up on rope swings, so when he went around the tree, it was like a pro. If rope swinging was an Olympic sport, probably would have been something he'd get a gold medal at. So, of course, after watching how wonderfully he'd done that, I wanted to go. And of course, because I've had 30 less years of rope swinging, I was going to be just as good. And around the tree I went, and it was pretty epic until I didn't get off. And then I circled the tree again, and then the third time, when I wrapped my body around the tree, and in the process, I scraped all the skin off my arm. And 5 months later, I'm on the way to having an epic scar. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. This does have a point though, because it's funny that I'm now really excited about that scar. My friends and I love talking about how we got our scars, and I know guys who like to show off their scars. It's like, look, guys, I injured myself enough to leave a permanent mark. Isn't it great? And in a real way, kind of those scars really become a part of who we are. And, I will have this scar on my arm until I decompose in the ground, unless I get plastic surgery. But case in point, kind of our brokenness becomes a part of who we are. And it's not just the mistakes that result in physical scars that make us who we are, it's our mistakes that kind of hurt our souls too, our sins. Our mistakes become who we are, and our tendency with our mistakes is to hide them even long after, or we tend to say that's who we used to be, but it has no bearing on my life now. But our mistakes have left their marks. But the thing is God can really make them beautiful. I'm going to butcher this term, but kintsugi is a technique that the Japanese use to put broken pottery pieces back together with gold, kind of in order to embrace the flaws. And if that doesn't convince you that really something beautiful can be made out of brokenness, next time you go to church, look at a stained glass window. Shards of glass are put together to become a beautiful image. And the thing is if we let God, He can make our flaws and mistakes into works of art. And I guess if we think about some modern speakers today who let God take their mistakes and turn them into something beautiful. Like, think about Paul J. Kim. He was a youth speaker who was addicted to porn, and now that he's recovered, he's able to use that experience and that brokenness inside of him. He speaks out against it, and he can use what he knows to help others. And I guess there's the same concept with Kristalina Everett and her journey through high school. The point is, our mistakes become a part of who we are, but we don't have to hide them. We can give them to God, and He can use them to make you into even more of a work of art. The pottery was never meant to be broken, but when it was put back together, it was beautiful even with its scars. Let's face it, guys, we're that broken pottery, and we should consider letting God put us back together.